It's Thomas from Fusion Teas. I wanted to make a short video about, I get this question a lot, how do I get my kefir thick? You've either had someone else in the past, or you've bought some from the grocery store and it's been thick, it's been creamy, it's the consistency's been there, and now that you've bought some of my grains or obtained it from a friend or whatever, you're starting your kefir journey and you're having a struggle. Especially during the summer. The summertime is it can be difficult, especially with the temperature, because they start to be very active. Just with the warmer temperatures, they can culture what usually takes a day, day and a half in the winter, can culture in as little as 12 hours. So you just have to adjust, and you kind of, with experience, you can adjust, and you kind of, are more in sync with your grains. So I wanted to just do a quick video about how I can get thick kefir, and how you, if you do what I do at home here, you'll be able to replicate this. So what I've done for you is I've got 2 mason jars. I put 2 tablespoons of kefir grains in this one, 1 tablespoon of kefir grains in this one. And these have been culturing, there's 6 cups of milk in each. 6 cups. I keep telling people you need to use a lot of milk. And they say they've adjusted the milk, but that's the key. You need to use enough milk to let it go for 24 hours. At least 24 hours. I would say anywhere between 24 hours and 36 hours. These have been culturing about, I would say, 30 hours. Looking at the time, about 30 hours. And if you can see that, even the 2 tablespoon has started to separate, more so than the 1 tablespoon. And you want to catch it before it separates. The consistency will not be there if it's already separated, because the whey and the curds will not go back together. It would always separate, whether you put it in the fridge or not. This is okay. I'd like you to catch it before. If you can see the 1 tablespoon, I'd like you to catch it with it just starts to have the pockets on the bottom with the whey. But this, I think, should be okay as well. But just, as a visual, 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 6 cups of milk, and I keep my house about 72 degrees. It's 100 degrees outside in Texas, but here in my house I like to keep it 72. So, and some people say, well, I don't want to make that much kefir every single day. Well, you don't have to. Make enough for a couple days, or maybe even a week. And just keep it in the fridge, in a mason jar, in a fridge, or a pitcher, or whatever. Keep the big in the fridge, and that way you don't have to do it every single day. Just keep your grains, put some milk in here, stick them in the fridge for storing for, until you need to do another batch, take them out, and do it over again. In the beginning, when I started doing this, that's what I did. And that's helpful, because I didn't need to strain every single day. And some people say it's hard on the grains. I didn't find that to be the case. They're very resilient. They're very strong, especially mine. They have a steady dose of lactose. They can handle a lot. And as you can see, they're very active. So 24 to 36 hours, 6 cups, if you have 1 or 2 tablespoons. And then they're going to grow, so you make sure to adjust. Either take some grains away or add more milk. Make a gallon if you want, if you can, at a time. And just store it in the fridge. You can store it literally for, I've stored mine for like 3 weeks, and it's been fine. And because of the bacteria count, it can't go bad. I haven't tested it for a month or 2, but theoretically, because of the bacteria, the good bacteria count, nothing bad can exist, because it'll overpower it. So. Let's strain it out and see how it goes. And I'm just going to strain the 1 tablespoon, because I like it to be, as you can see pretty closely, that, just a pocket away down here, and that's it. And you can see that it's real thick. And what you can do is either you can take your spoon, and what I use is just, this is a toddler spoon. Plastic, clean, dried off. I've got my, my bowl here to catch all the kefir, and I got a strainer. This type of strainer is a nylon strainer. It works very well, especially if you have curds that have kind of risen to the top and kind of are around the grains or sticking to the grains, and they're hard to kind of break apart. So you want to take your spoon and kind of work your grains around so it almost actually does homogenize the curds, and so it just creates a really good consistency, thick, because that's what a lot of people need, is consistency, because that's very important with food. Basically, it's not only the taste, but if someone doesn't like the consistency, then it's very hard to get acclimated to. So what I'm going to do is, you can shake this up. I'll just stir it up really quick, because it doesn't need a lot. I'll try to get out of the way here. And then we're just going to strain it. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Just dump the full 6 cups in there. And as you can see, it's not going through all the way because it is a thick consistency. You can see it, you can tap it, shake it. And I like to just take the spoon here and kind of work the grains around. Like I said, it's not going to hurt the grains. The grains are very resilient. They're very strong, so this type of action is not going to harm them. I'm not sure. I like to use a nylon strainer. If you use a stainless steel, you might not want to do that because the steel is a little bit stronger, tougher, and that might be a little rough on the grains. But as you can see, that's a tablespoon. 1 tablespoon of grains and 6 cups of milk. So I'll just stick this back in my jar here. And put this to the side, and I want you to see this, because it's very simple. But maybe it's me that hasn't conveyed the importance of the amount of milk that you need to do to be able to get this type of thickness. But that's pretty thick. That is, you're going to get about a drinkable yogurt. It's never going to be, like a regular yogurt at the store. There's a whole different process to make yogurt, and it takes, that takes consistent heat. So that's why you have yogurt kind of machines that kind of help it maintain the temperature. But with kefir, you just put it on the counter. And then this, you can store in your fridge. This is whole milk, by the way. I don't use anything else but whole milk. This is what's going to give you this thick consistency. Don't be afraid to use the full fat milk. This is so broken down that you're going to be able to digest this very easy. So that's it. That's basically it. Just stick it in the fridge, and once it even chills down, it'll even get thicker than that. You got to use a lot of milk. Time, milk, and if you let it culture for 12 hours, it's going to be strong. It's going to be very yeasty. It'll be kind of potent. So if you don't like to go longer, and it's finished at 12 hours, strain it off. Put it in the fridge, and it will kind of get milder as another day in the fridge, so it doesn't, of course, separate. And when you put your grains and milk in there, put it in the corner. Don't touch it. If you stir it throughout the culturing process, it will separate very quickly. What you're doing is you're stirring up the grains, you're stirring up the bacteria that it's produced, and you're stirring up the lactose, so you're redistributing everything. And so that's going to help it culture very quickly, especially right, 30 minutes to an hour, it might separate after you stir it. So do not stir during the process. Stir in the beginning, stir in the end, and then strain it. So hopefully this will help some of the users out there to keep at it, to get that kind of synergy and in sync with your grains and understand how strong they are, how fast they culture in different seasons and temperatures. So thanks for watching. This is Thomas from Fusion Teas.